Hi, this is So for Dolls, and I have with me my newest doll. This is Truly Me number 53, and she just arrived off of eBay yesterday, and I mentioned that I was going to be cleaning her up, and I went ahead and decided I had a request, so I'm going to go ahead and show you how I clean up my dolls. I've done this video before, but this is a little bit more because I am going to actually put her body in the washing machine, and I'm going to show you how I do that. And I'm also going to I'm going to put two dolls' bodies in at the same time. I will not be putting their heads in though, because you are not to ever get water around their eyes. It'll ruin the decals in their eye, and it's just not going to work right. So I have this cute little picture of her, or she's in the video. She's in a little Target Our Generation bathtub, and I use these little packing foam pieces to look like bubbles. And so I did that just for the beginning of the video. I'm going to go ahead and take her out and show you what I do to clean my dolls. Gotta make sure all those bubbles, or they're not real bubbles, the packing, whatever you want to call them, pieces stay in there, because I have had a cat try to eat them. So here is my doll, and I'm going to be using what most people would use is the Mr. Clean little thing. You wet it down, and it can take a lot of like surface dirt off of the vinyl part of the doll. I always end up cutting mine, and this one is not the original brand of Mr. Clean. This is the Walmart brand, and it seems to work just fine. So I'm going to cut it into a piece to make it a little bit easier to use, and I need to go wet it first. Okay, I have this, and I've squeezed out the excess water. And there she is. I usually start with the face, and I do it really lightly, you know, going in between the eyebrows, and I try not to rub over the eyebrows. If I do, it's just one quick little thing, because people have taken the paint off of the eyebrows, which is something you want to avoid unless you're planning on repainting your doll. And anything with the face paint, you know, you could take off the blush. Now, I might be giving her more blush, so I'm not concerned about that. But just around this little area, I'll just kind of dab, because I most likely will give her some more lip paint, but maybe I won't for a while. You know me, I'm kind of lazy doing it. So she did have a little bit of a mark on her cheek, and that just came off. I go as far as the hairline. So like I said, I'm just going to continue lightly putting this around her body, or you know, the vinyl pieces of her body, her neck, her ears. Sometimes the doll's ears get really dirty. And you know, the back of the neck can be dirty. You know, you never know where the dirt's hiding. And then I continue on to the arms, and I haven't had any issues, you know, with having to be careful when you're on the arm area. And if you have a really bad spot, like an ink pen stain, you can use some of that zit cream with the benzoyl. I think it's peroxide in it. And you can treat your skin like with that, her skin. And putting it out in the sun has helped. We were having a long winter, and I did it when one doll, the one that I got from Goodwill, and I was able to get some terrible stains off of her fingers. This is starting to fall apart. I think it's a really old one that never got used on this Mr. Clean. It's just falling apart. Her fingertips are a little dirty, and this is not coming off easily, so I might, after I wash her in the wash, use a little bit of the benzoyl on her fingertips, and maybe in a day or two they would be as light as I want them. This is a terrible, maybe it's the brand. I haven't had an issue before with them falling apart like this, but I need to get another one of the Mr. Clean, or the generic Mr. Clean, because it is falling apart. So I'm gonna go do that, and I'm gonna finish cleaning up her body. I think you understand how I do this, and then I'll come back for the rest of the video. I wanted to point out, I'm not finished cleaning her, but she has like a little pink dot on her chest there. I'm gonna get something to spray on it, some fabric, you know, spray, so I can be working on that while I'm working on the rest of her body. I don't know if it'll come out, but it was not something that was going to keep me from buying her. It's not that bad, but I just wanted to let you know what I'm doing. Okay, her body has been, you know, rubbed all over with the magic eraser. Hopefully I wasn't too close on the video for this. I hope it's not blurry. I'm just noticing how close I was, and I apologize if it was. So what I'm going to be doing, oh, she's got a little mark I didn't see. Let me see if I can get that off. But what I'm going to be doing next, maybe it just won't come off. What I will be doing next is I'm going to be taking her head off of her body, and this doll, her neck strings were replaced, which I've already contacted the seller because the seller made an effort to tell me that she had long neck strings, but did not tell me that she replaced them herself, and I think that should have been included in the description. I think I probably would have still bought the doll, but as a seller, you know, that's just kind of common courtesy to let me know, hey, I tightened her limbs and I replaced her neck strings, because they are obviously not the American Girl ones. I've bought tons of these dolls and I can tell right away. So I'm going to be taking her body, as you can see, and I'm going to put this body in an, I usually put the body in a pillowcase, and when I wash it, her head will be staying in a different spot. Shoot, I really hope I'm not too close. I really apologize if I am. And I have another doll that's going to also go in for the wash, because usually I do 2 at a time. This is my Elizabeth doll, and sometimes I do these cleanings all the way and sometimes I don't. Just depends on how impatient I am and also what kind of weather it is. Since it's the summer, it'll be hot, and the weather should allow them to dry very quickly. I usually put them in front of a fan or outside. And I'll also show you that. She had even stuffing up in her head. So I'm going to close it up. And usually I don't have a problem with the stuffing coming out during the wash. But the way I'll tell whose body is who is Elizabeth has the short side tag. My new number 53 has the long tag. And so I'll take the camera into my laundry room and show you the next step. Okay, I'll apologize now. This most likely will be a little bit of a shaky video because I have to hold the camera. Both of the dolls are now inside of my washing machine. I have one in the pillowcase on the right, and I seal it with a rubber band. One, and there's a left pillowcase. They're both old stuff. And I threw in one towel. Years ago, I used to wash a lot of Cabbage Patch Kids, and I do them with a whole load of towels. But this new machine I haven't had that problem, just putting them in with one towel just to kind of help with the balance. So I have the fabrics, I didn't use fabric softener, I did use detergent in a small amount. I'm going to close it up. And then I turn on my machine. And I think I'm going to use it on the delicate setting. And so it's got the tap cold water, it's on a low spin, light soil, and I'm going to do the fabric softener off and start it. Okay. And it's going to, spin around and decide how long to do. It will not end up being a 55-minute cycle. I think it'll be like 20 minutes. And I've done this with 2 other American Girls and it worked out fine. So there they are. Pretty soon the water will be on top of them. And we'll come back once their cycle is complete and check on them and put them out to dry. So maybe they're going to start, they're just right now it's just weighing. It's going to start spinning. Maybe I'll come back and check on them in a little bit. There's a little peek at them in the washing machine, and they're moving around a lot, getting all soapy, and then the soap will come off. But there's a little peek to show you how they're doing. The wash is complete. I'm going to remove the dolls and go ahead and take them out of the pillowcases, and I'll show you where I put them outside for drying. Both dolls are outside right now and they're drying, and I'll show you how I lay them out to dry. But I wanted to show you also when they come out of the wash, and of course they're headless, but I always do something like this, and I just didn't want to film this outside. I take their legs out of the joint a little bit and I move it around, and that helps if there's any water in the legs. And I do that on both sides, and I'm expecting to find like a little bit of water because it kind of will pull up right there, and then I do that and I shake it out, and the same thing with the arms in case there's any water. And they are kind of going to be standing like this on their head outside without their head, but I'll show you how I have them. But this is just kind of more I couldn't hold the camera and do this at the same time, so that's why I'm showing you on another doll to give you an idea. You want to make sure that all the water that might have gone in their limbs, will fall out and dry. Here they are balancing on their, it would be like on their head, but they don't have heads at the moment. And again, I have their limbs kind of up in the air to get any water that may have collected in their limbs to, just flow down into their bodies and dry. They won't have to stay in this position the entire time they're drying. And I've found within a day or two, within 2 days, usually I put their head back on. Being it's summer, it might be sooner. With this nice weather, and at nighttime I'll probably bring them in and just put a fan on them all night. And I also did put a little bit of the benzoyl peroxide, a little zit cream, to make sure that if they have any stains, that comes off. So there they are, and I hope that you would enjoy this video. If you have any questions, please comment down below, and check out my Instagram, Sew for Dolls, and thank you for watching. Keep enjoying your dolls, and I will have a new video up of once the heads are back on, and I'll try out wigs for the other doll. Thanks again. Bye-bye.